Hello YouTube, how is everyone doing? It's Professional here. So today I got a crazy current events video for you guys. These are very different than a lot of the other videos I do. If you're unfamiliar with these are videos in which I basically react to ridiculous things that are going around and give my reaction while having some video game gameplay in the background. But anyways, we got a story that I'm not surprised happened again, but this time this happened to Mona Lisa. So we've covered this story basically a few times. Is you have these idiots that basically go around and attempt to vandalize precious pieces of artwork throughout history in order to try to push some kind of protest message, in order to try to highlight their protest, their cause. But in the end, all it just makes is it just gets people against them and gets people really pissed off at them. But anyways, these idiots, they basically threw soup at the Mona Lisa, which the Mona Lisa is the most famous painting in the entire world. This incident happened in France, so take a look at this. Let's play the video right here.
Qu'est-ce qu'il y a de plus important?
L'art, le droit et l'orientation saine et durable.
Mais non, mais sérieusement.
Qu'est-ce qu'il y a important?
Qu'est-ce qu'il y a de plus important?
L'art.
Pardon, excusez-moi, pardon, merci.
Climate activists battled weekend crowds at the Louvre Museum, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, in Paris on Sunday to splash the iconic Mona Lisa with canned soup. Video shows two women throwing a red liquid at the painting before crossing the wooden barrier protecting it from crowds. One of the women removes her jacket to reveal a t-shirt reading Riposte Alimentaire, a food sustainability activist group in France whose name means food response. What is more important, the second woman yells to the shouting crowd, art or healthy, sustainable food? Well, I'll tell you what's not important is doing idiotic things like this. This is, what does Mona Lisa and Leonardo da Vinci have to do with what you're protesting against? Which, honestly speaking, I don't even know what these people are protesting for. That's how stupid they are at getting their message out. They're so terrible at getting their message out that the only thing people are going to look at them for is that these are the idiots who, splash soup at the Mona Lisa. But moving on, museum workers can be seen rushing to block the view of the activists and the painting. In an emailed statement, the Louvre told NBC News that no damage was done to the painting, which has been protected under armored glass since 2005. Thank God. And the thing is, though, is if this portrait was not in glass, I think that they still would have done the exact same thing. They would have attempted to also vandalize it. And my God, imagine that actually happened. The Salle des Etats room of the States, where the painting is displayed, was evacuated calmly, it said, and closed for 90 minutes while the display was cleaned. The museum will lodge a complaint, the statements added. Although it was not clear whether this was to law enforcement officials or to the activist group. Mona Lisa by Leonardo da Vinci depicts an Italian noblewoman with a mysterious smile. It is one of the world's most famous works of art, and attracts the 10 million visitors to the Louvre per year. On its website, Riposte Alimentaire said the French government is breaking its climate commitments and called for the equivalent of France's state-sponsored healthcare system to be put in place to give people better access to healthy food while providing farmers a decent income. Angry French farmers have been using their tractors for days, set up road blockades, and slow traffic across France to seek better remuneration for their produce, less red tape, and protection against cheap imports. Okay, so now about this group is some kind of climate activist group that is also wanting healthy foods. I don't know if these people are linked to those vegan protests that I basically had covered, months back, but they probably have a lot of the same goals. But what I noticed here is this is a group that is apparently promoting trying to promote healthy food, and they are saying that farmers have it rough, which farmers do have it rough. Don't get me wrong. But do you see how ironic this is? That they are protesting for healthier food. Their organization is called Food Response. And what do? They waste food by chucking it at the Mona Lisa. So this is apparently what all the cool kids are doing these days. This is apparently how you protest these days now is, you don't protest in front of the company or government agency that you want to protest against legally. You don't do it on the streets, do a organization, get a bunch of people together, get some, pamphlets, some signs, protest legally on the street, on the sidewalk. Nope. Instead, what people decide to do is they decide to do stuff like this. They decide to throw soup at valuable pieces of artwork. They've done this to Mona Lisa. They've done this to Van Gogh's painting. These idiots go into supermarkets. They decide to dump milk all over the floor, which basically all that's going to do is now the employees that are working for a little bit over minimum wage are going to have to clean all of that up. They decide to block roads, and all that basically does is that keeps people from getting to where they have to do. People get late for work, or maybe they're going somewhere important. Maybe even, in the worst case scenarios is you have an emergency vehicle that has to get through, and these people are still blocking the road. And, for people that are protesting about climate change, don't get me wrong, climate change is an issue, but, this is not the way you go about doing something like this. These people block roads constantly, and blocking roads, cars can't get to where they have to go, and they're wasting gas. And so all of those cars just piling up in just one place, wasting tons of and putting out tons of CO2 emissions. So isn't that actually making the environment worse by blocking the road? And imagine if you went back in time and you actually got to talk to Leonardo da Vinci, one of the most famous men in history, an inventor, painter in Renaissance Italy. And you would tell Leonardo da Vinci, 500 something years from now, that your Mona Lisa painting, a bunch of idiot protesters are going to go and they're going to throw soup at that. Imagine just Leonardo da Vinci's reaction to something like that. Thinking that his painting, 500 years from now, is going to have some idiots that are going to throw soup at it. People who cannot appreciate it, the hard work that he put into. Thank God it's in glass. But like I said, this is not the proper way to protest, and this is not going to get anybody on your side. Because I'm honestly confused. These people suck at absolutely getting their message out. They absolutely suck at it. I don't even know what these people are protesting over. Like, this article says it's about climate change, and it's also about healthier food, but these people are so bad at getting the word out about their protest movement that I don't even know what they're even protesting for. And the thing is, people aren't even going to understand what you're protesting for. Instead, they're just going to get pissed off at you for attacking pieces of art, blocking the roads, and sometimes even, locking yourselves in, gluing yourself to the road. That happened in Germany. It happened in Germany basically about a year and a half ago, where there was a bunch of protesters that went into a Porsche car dealership. And what they did was they glued their hands to the floor in the Porsche car dealership. And do you know what the staff did at that point? When the staff had to go, they left. They went home. They turned off the lights and they went home. That's exactly what they did. And do you know what those stupid protesters did? Those stupid protesters, they blamed the staff, saying that it was inhumane what they did, that they left them here. They left them at the car dealership. They turned off the lights and they went home. And they said they didn't give them beverages. They didn't give them refreshments. They didn't give them food. Well, you're an idiot who decides to go into a car dealership and glue your hand to the floor. These people have to get up in the morning. They have a real job. They got to do something. They're not going to be there all night long waiting for the police to unglue your hands from the ground. And they gave the police the access to the building, so the police came in, they helped get the protesters loose. But honestly, how stupid is that? If you go into a building, you glue your hands to the floor, and then you blame the staff for not giving you free food and free drinks, and you say the staff are heartless for going home. It's like, what did you expect them to do? You expected them to sit there all night long with you? And that's the thing about these protesters, is they don't seem to understand that by inconveniencing people, that is not going to draw attention to your movement. Instead of actually inconveniencing people, maybe actually try to educate people on this. Maybe you make videos on this, talk about what you're protesting about, go on the news, give interviews. I'm sure there's news organizations that will be more than willing to interview you. Just don't make yourself out to be an idiot. That's it. And that's how you get people on your side, not by doing stuff like this. And another thing I'll say about this, guys, is I've made a few mistakes here by calling these people protesters. But these people aren't protesters. They aren't, really, when you think about it. Because protesting is a legal action. In most countries in the world, you can protest. You are allowed to do that. You can protest. That is fully legal. And in France, and the United States, and Germany, and Britain, where these incidents have happened, you have the freedom to protest. You are able to do that. However, though, even though you have the freedom to protest, you don't have the freedom to block roads. You don't have the freedom to vandalize property. You don't have the freedom to glue your hands to the floor in a building or on the streets, and you don't have the freedom to, dump milk all over the floor in supermarkets. You don't have the freedom to do that. The moment you do that, you're not protesting anymore. You know what you're doing? You're breaking the law. That's what you're doing at that point. So I wouldn't even consider them protesters at that point anymore, because protesters don't break the law. They're just protesting. But this is more than just protesting. This is breaking the law. And I know some people are going to say, well, they didn't really destroy, damage the property. There's glass here. It's an attempt at vandalizing. I don't know what French law is exactly, but I'm sure there is some kind of law that covers this, an attempt to vandalize property. So even if you did not damage any property, it's the fact that you attempted to do something. But anyways, let me know what you guys think down below. But this is just ridiculous, and I cannot believe there's people that actually think that this is a good idea. And actually, if you actually look at the Twitter page of these idiots, it's in French, but I translated a lot of what they were saying. And if you actually look at the comments, people are really pissed off at them in the comments. Like, the vast majority of comments, nobody is on their side. If you just look at their Twitter page, people are just absolutely pissed at them. So yeah. Anyways, let me know what you guys think down below. This situation is. This is not going to end. This is just going to keep going. But like I said, this is what all the cool kids apparently do these days is, you can't get the message out for your protest. So you decide, you know what, I'm going to go and I'm going to vandalize attempt to vandalize the world's most famous painting. Yep, and Leonardo da Vinci is definitely responsible for climate change. That's definitely the guy that's responsible for it. But thank you guys for watching. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, do drop a like. Let me know what you think down below. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care, everyone. Have a wonderful day, guys.